The four horsemen of the apocalypse. The sign of the end. Did you know the Bible has already revealed the four events that will shake the world before the end? These are not conspiracy theories. These are not horror movies. These are profound revelations written nearly 2,000 years ago in the book of Revelation. And the most terrifying part? They may already be happening. The Apostle John describes four horsemen riding in sequence, bringing mass destruction. Each represents a sinister force that will shape humanity's future. The first horseman of the apocalypse, the deception that will rule the world. What if the greatest danger to humanity wasn't a nuclear bomb, but an idea? In the book of Revelation, before the plagues, before the war, before the chaos, an enigmatic figure appears, a rider on a white horse. He seems noble. He seems pure. He seems like the hero everyone has been waiting for. But he is the first and most dangerous of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. The Bible says he carries a bow, but no arrows are mentioned. Why? Because his weapons are not made of metal. They are made of persuasion. This horseman represents the charismatic leader who promises salvation but brings destruction. The movement that sells itself as peace but sows chaos. The system that controls masses not by force, but with lies. And here's the most disturbing detail. He is already among us. Can you see his traces? In news stories that aren't what they seem. In leaders who say one thing and do another. In ideologies that divide families and nations. The first horseman doesn't conquer with armies. He conquers with deception. And the worst part, by the time people realize the truth, it may be too late. The red horseman of the apocalypse, the sign of the great war. No one can avoid in the book of Revelation. After the white horseman of deception comes a figure that makes even the bravest tremble. A warrior on a blood-red horse, wielding a massive sword. And he has not come to negotiate. He has not come to talk. He has come to take peace from the earth. This is the second horseman of the apocalypse, the ultimate symbol of total war. And the most frightening part? The signs of his arrival are everywhere. Look around you. Conflicts that start with a minor incident and explode into regional wars. Nuclear powers clashing in dangerous games of power. Alliances broken in a matter of days. Deadlier war technologies than ever before. The Bible says he was given the power to make men kill one another, and he does not act alone. Behind this horseman, there is an entire system ready to turn small conflicts into global wars, use economic crises to fuel hatred between nations, manipulate entire populations into supporting violence. But here's the detail that will keep you awake at night. This horseman is not just a future event. He represents a principle already at work in the world today. Can you see his traces? In hateful speeches that go viral, in fake news that ignites conflicts, in leaders who profit from division. The big question is not if the red horseman will ride, but when his ride will reach its tipping point, and what you will do when war knocks at your door. The third horseman of the apocalypse. The crisis that will break the world. What would you do if you woke up tomorrow and found that a kilo of rice cost more than your daily wage? Enter the third horseman, and he brings famine like the world has never seen. Imagine a rider on a black horse, in his hands a pair of scales, and a voice that echoes, "A kilo of wheat for a day's wages, 3 kilos of barley for a day's wages, and do not damage the oil and the wine." This is no ordinary horseman. He represents inflation that devours wages, shortages that empty markets, famine that humiliates entire nations. And the most terrifying part, we are already seeing the signs. Global economic crises in chain reactions, food blockades between nations, commodity prices skyrocketing, people fighting over food in supermarkets. The scales in his hand are not just a symbol, they are a warning. They show what happens when war destroys crops, systems collapse, Money loses its value before bread. But here's the detail that will haunt you. The third horseman does not act alone. He comes after deception and war, which means, first, people believe lies. Then, they turn against each other. And finally, they realize they have nothing to eat. The fourth horseman of the apocalypse, the destroyer who comes to take a quarter of humanity. What if I told you there is a prophecy predicting the death of 2 billion people? After deception, after war, after famine, comes the most terrifying figure of all, the fourth horseman of the apocalypse. The Bible describes him like this: "And behold, a pale horse, and its rider's name was Death, and he was given power over a fourth of the earth to kill by sword, by famine, by plague, and by wild beasts." This is no ordinary angel of death. He is the plague that wipes out populations, the war that shatters nations, the famine that starves cities, the chaos that unleashes humanity's worst. And the most disturbing part, he does not act alone. He is the final consequence of the other 3 horsemen. First, deception blinds people. Then, war divides nations. Famine weakens the people. And then, death comes to reap. But here's what you must understand. This horseman does not just represent physical death. He symbolizes the collapse of healthcare systems, the breakdown of social order, the desperation that turns humans into animals. And the question remains, are we seeing the preparations for his arrival now? Because once the fourth horseman begins his ride, no country, no army, no leader will be able to stop him. The only question is, who will survive when he passes?